So this is Thursday, so it's Writers Open Mic, and I have a guest. Hoping that they will be joining us tonight. Her name is Chloe Cocking, and she's written a couple of books that are published by the sponsor, my sponsor, which is Philidith Books. Philidith Publishing, sorry. Philidith Books is the website. And so her first book, got them all here. Her first book, there it is. It's called Blood Rain. And it's got, vampires in it for those of you who like vampires. And the thing at the top there says, it's called Blood Rain. Everything dies when you cut off its head. We all have compulsions. You know how some people just have to make sure the iron is turned off or that they double bolted the door. I can't seem to stop talking about the dead. These days I was opting to work with this ability, not against it. Suzanne, and that's a quote from Suzanne Murphy, the psychic necromancer for the Seattle Police Department special consultant.
Trying to be funny in your chat.
She's one of the vampires suck. Yes, they do. So she's a necromancer, a psychic necromancer. And she's working with the Seattle Police Department, and the police officer that she works with is somewhat hesitant to buy into her abilities, but becomes impressed with them. So the plot is that in Seattle in 2016, and someone is kidnapping kids in foster care and turning them into revenant vampires. So we have a vampire colony in Seattle, basically. And so this Suzanne Murphy is trying to track them down and or vampires, bite. They do bite, yes. So there's vampires in here. It's big, a bit gory at some points, but not really. And it's a good story. It's good character development. I quite enjoyed it. And so Chloe was going to come on tonight and read for us. And I'm expecting to see her shortly. She's also written a collection of short stories and essays and like that. This one here. See the whole cover there? Yes. Oh, my nails blend right in. It's called Fables, Fictions, and Fantasies, a Compendium. Bunch of short stories. Says is a collection of 13 short stories that feature several revenge schemes, 3 adventures in customer service, and a few accidental deaths. A vegan stripper defending herself from zombie attack. Oh, we got zombies too. And a little girl finding the cupcake of her dreams.
A cupcake?
Yeah. Interesting. Some of them were quite funny. Interesting stories. I like that one too. And then her most recent one is called Hector, and it's poems. And there's the cover.
She did the cover for that one, right? I remember doing that cover.
No. Well, I think we put the lettering on, but that was her picture that she...
Email her?
I did. Okay. And so these are poems. And again, some of them are quite funny. She's quite prolific and has a website and blogs and a bunch of other stuff too. So you would find her writing in a lot of places and probably enjoy. I would suspect enjoy reading all of it, but at any rate, she's we're big on promoting local authors, but we're big on promoting people. Oh, Chloe's waiting.
There you go.
There we go.
Now, remember what I said you have to do here?
No.
Blind your camera. Actually, before you unblind your camera,
Yeah.
highlight the middle of that screen.
Yeah.
See the blue thing that just showed up in the corner, upper right?
Yeah.
Hit the 3 dots.
Yeah.
Hide yourself. On the bottom. Hide self view.
There we go.
There, now unblind your camera.
Okay. And that did not work. Where is she?
There you go.
There she
Hey,
is.
it's Chloe.
There she is. Let me turn this music down a wee bit. Okay, so we're live, and you're live on my Twitch, and I was just showing, I have copies of all of your books here, and I was just showing everyone the book covers and telling them what they were about, and saying that I was excited to have you on my stream tonight, and that you're going to read to us. Oh, I'm not getting audio.
Turn your slider up.
Oh, that would be why.
That works better that way.
There we go. Now try talking.
How's this?
That's
much
better.
Excellent. Okay, good.
Always helps if I turn the sound on.
Turn the mixer up helps.
Okay, so I'm going to switch the screen so that they're looking at you and not me,
Okay.
because that's much more interesting.
We're looking at
Oh, I don't know about that, but
Well, so the bigger part of the screen is your beautiful face, and I'm off in the corner.
you need to readjust that frame a bit,
I
think.
No, I think it's fine. That looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So, you have 2 bits of reading for us, and then we're going to chat about your books. And we've been playing Story Cube on this stream. Have you ever played Story Cube?
I have some story cubes. Yeah.
Okay, so we might do a little impromptu kind of deal if
Sure.
if you're up for it.
It would appear she has fans.
You have fans.
Yep.
Uh.
There's 1,100 people here.
Wow, we have 1,100 people watching us.
No pressure.
No.
None whatsoever. So I'm going to mute my mic and shut up and let you read your first bit there. And so you're reading from Blood Rain,
Yes.
which is this one. Without my fingernails. There we go.
Uh-oh. Like I said, she has a fan.
Okay. You have a fan. Somebody said, Chloe!
Hello.
Hey, I'll shut up now.
Okay, I'm muting myself. You go ahead there, my dear.
Okay, so what I'm going to read to you comes from it's about a third of the way through the novel. Our hero Suzanne has attempted to take a night off from her sleuthing and go to a basketball game at the high school with some friends. It doesn't really work out for her. You're about to find out exactly how. I look back to the game. One of the pine cones was bent at the waist, hands on his thighs, trying to catch his breath. The tallest member of the Panthers, who was easily closer to 7 feet tall than he was to 6, had outpaced him with long, fluid strides. He nearly floated up to the basket to drop the ball in. The out-of-breath Pinecombe frowned and hunched his shoulders. I can't watch any more of this. It's so depressing. I leant over and said to Star and Sarah, I'm going for popcorn. Do you guys want anything? No, thanks. I'm okay, said Sarah. Me too. I'm going to wait for the ice cream, said Star. I squeezed my ample behind past the people seated beside us and started to make my way down the steps of the bleachers. I spotted Braden standing near the edge of the court, talking to one of the Pinecone cheer squad. What's he doing here? Maybe this is the catchment school for his group home. I quickened my pace, hoping to catch Braden before he saw me and disappeared into the crowd. This was my chance to talk to him without Garuda around if Braden was still willing. Just as I reached court level, the halftime whistle blew and people surged out of the bleachers, hurrying to the concession lines. The girls' bathroom already had a line out the door, but predictably, in a crowd that was predominantly mothers, sisters, girlfriends, and classmates of the basketball team, no one was heading towards the men's room. In the crush of people, I almost lost sight of Braden, but managed to make out that that's where he was headed. I tried to move more quickly through the crowd, but it wasn't working very well. At 5 feet 2 inches, the top of my head is well below the line of sight for most people. so people in crowds often don't realize I'm nearby until I'm literally right next to them. That, combined with the general self-centeredness of humans in crowded spaces, meant it took some time and some effort for me to wedge my way across the crowded gym. I was about 10 feet from the boys' bathroom when I heard the scream. It was a primal screech of surprise and fear. It echoed off the tiles in the bathroom and rang out into the gym, audible despite the din of the crowd. A few heads turned in the direction of the scream, but the disorderly crowd was intent on moving toward the concession stand, so it was ignored. I struggled against the people in my way, but couldn't worm my way through them. I felt dread skulk in the pit of my stomach. Something in my chest clenched. I dug my elbows into people to make them move. People just elbowed me back. I was losing precious seconds. In frustration, I shoved the man in my path out of the way and ran for the boys' washroom door. The hospital green tile work was splashed everywhere with blood. Arterial spray had even reached the ceiling. The small window high on the far wall had been smashed open. A gangly red-headed kid was frozen in place coming out of the bathroom stall. He looked at Braden's body crumpled on the floor, his eyes wide with shock. Braden lay on the tile floor in a puddle of blood, his hands gripping the red ruin of his throat. He saw me and his eyes burned into mine, his lips moving in an inaudible plea for help. "Hey, Red," I shouted at the screamer. "Call 911 right now on your cell, then go get the coach." I ran toward Braden as I yelled. The ginger kid looked at me blankly for a moment. "Do it now," I screamed. He ran from the bathroom, fumbling in his pants for his cell. He avoided the floor tiles that were slick with Braden's blood. I slipped through it and landed awkwardly on my ass next to Braden. "Keep your hands on it, Braden, you're doing well. Help is coming," I said as I pressed my hands against his. Despite the pressure on the wound, his blood oozed between our fingers. I could feel the fading warmth of the blood pool I was sitting in. Braden's eyes started to close. I nudged him with my right knee and said, "Braden, buddy, stay with me, okay? Help is coming. We're going to get you fixed up. Just hang in here with me." Even as I said it, I knew I was losing him. The part of me attuned to the dead could feel his life force ebbing away, dwindling down to a shining silver thread. The coppery tang of his blood seemed to stick to the back of my throat as I breathed. I fought my gag reflex. Tears welled up in my eyes and spilled down my cheeks. "Braden, please stay here. Please, we can fix you. Don't go. Don't go. Honest, someone can help you." Where the fuck was the coach? Braden made a gurgling sound, more from his ruined throat than from his mouth. His eyes fluttered open and he looked sadly at me. His eyes closed and the blood welling from his wound slowed. I felt the silver thread that attached his soul to his body snap. I felt my usual anchoring, the metaphysical binding that helps me keep the voices of the dead out of my head, start to fade. Is my necromancy trying to follow him? Heedless to the other spirits that may be around, I started to open the part of me that communicated with dead things. I needed to talk to Braden. In my mind's eye, I could see the frayed end of Braden's soul receding. With no time or equipment to cast a protective circle or bless the space, I shoved at the spiritual gateway inside me, opening it all the way. A wall of sound slammed into me. Hundreds of voices pleaded for my attention. I could feel fingers wispy as tattered cobwebs trailing over my skin. I shivered and called out, "Braden!" His silver thread continued to recede. I tried to send some of my own ki, a red tendril, out to touch his silver one. The other spirits clamoring for my attention seemed empowered by my ki, drinking it like nectar. Braden's soul continued to recede. The spirits standing closest to me seemed to thicken and solidify, their voices getting clearer, their outlines sharper. "I'm sorry, I have no time for you right now," I said. In my mind's eye, I drew the red tendril back into my own heart. I could feel the spirits trying to keep drawing on my energy like a nursing mother feels her infant's lips reach for her as she pulls her breast away. I breathed in deeply, the sickly sweet tang of Braden's blood clinging to my airways. I blew out the breath and slammed the door on my spiritual gateway. The ginger-haired kid ran back into the room, his cell plastered to his ear. The red-faced coach was on his heels. The coach veered around Ginger and knelt on the other side of Braden's body. He peeled up one of Braden's eyelids and looked into his eye. "Yes, I'm standing right next to her. She's holding her hands over his throat. I'll ask," Ginger said into his phone. He pulled it away from his face. Hey, lady, have you been giving CPR at all? No, I don't know how. Just pressure on the bleeding. She says no. The coach started to perform CPR on Braden's body. Knowing it was pointless, I continued to hold on to his throat anyway. In the distance, I could hear someone shouting in the gym. Stay back. Keep the way clear. Boys' room is closed right now for a med emergency. And we'll leave it there.
Wow, that's intense. Absolutely. Any comments on the chat here for Chloe? Anybody want to ask her anything? Lots of conversation here, but nothing direct. I'm back watching you more. Good. Any questions for Chloe? Well, I do. So how have you been?
I'm good actually. I'm struggling writing the sequel to Blood Rain, and I've written myself into a hole, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to write myself out of it. But something is happening, so we'll see.
Sounds interesting. I can't wait. And
I've got another project in mind that's exciting me a little bit more right now. What I envision is a book that's made of 3 novellas, each of which has either a mythological or fairy tale theme. And I have 2 novellas written, and I'm working on the 3rd one.
wow.
One is about Persephone, goddess of the underworld. Another is about, oh goodness, what is it about? One is sort of inspired by a Grimm's fairy tale called The Goose Girl, which is a fairly obscure one, but one of my favorites. And then the 3rd piece is, gosh, let me just look quickly at my computer at what it is. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Oh, it's called The Singing Harp. And it's based on an Irish folktale about sisters that don't get along.
Ah, that sounds interesting. I look forward to reading that one as well. And
Excellent.
how are you doing in the COVID stuff?
Well, I've practiced social distancing for a long time, long before COVID was a thing. So I don't know that it's changed my lifestyle as much as it's changed some people's.
Right.
I think I had my first day of being really kind of lonely and bored and frustrated probably in December.
Right.
So that's a long time to go to in COVID to feel, my version of normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does thank you. What does normal look like for you? Do you work from home, or are you
I
going
do
out
work
to?
from home. Yeah, no, I do work from home. And in my day job, and so does my spouse. So luckily we like each other. So being in a small apartment together all day every day, it works out actually okay with us.
I saw on his Facebook that you've got a new fur baby. Or
We got a new cat. Yes. Our previous cat passed away in November of an age-related condition, and so we got a new cat just last week. His name is Gary.
yeah, and he's has some interesting habits.
He does. He's a weird cat. He's got he's by no means a purebred. He's a rescue kitty. He's by no means a purebred cat, but it's clear that he has some Norwegian forest cat in him,
Oh yeah.
just from his sheer physical size, and he gets this sort of magnificent mane happening. Yeah, but and they've got these incredibly long, thick tails.
Right. Yeah, he's a
Will
beautiful
never
cat.
have to dust the house anymore because he'll do it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beautiful cat. Did I not hear that there's another one coming too, that they come in twos?
Uh, well, Dee has a similar looking cat that is relatively new to her.
Ah, okay, that's what I was saying, right?
Yeah, her cat's named Ivan, but Ivan's not even a year old yet, whereas Gary is 12.
Right.
You have another one of Bob's students in class from
Uh
class.
okay, so Dynamic Newson says, "Hey, I'm another one of Bob's students and we have no class tomorrow, so I thought I'd pop in and say hi. We love your streams." Well, thank you very much. Bob is a writer. He
Mm.
sent us their teacher, and it's a computer class in East Coast
St. John's.
St. John's,
Mm.
and he sent some stories in on previous sessions of this my Thursday night thing I've been reading. Well, actually Sunday night too. I read sometimes, and he sent me a bunch of stuff and I read. He's pretty good too. So I'm trying to encourage him that he should be putting some of that in print. But we'll see. But his students, when they watch my Twitch stream in class when when they're supposed to be paying attention, apparently.
Ah,
Well,
you're a multi-channel media mogul these days,
they
hey?
watch the
I am
the
these days.
recordings.
Yeah, I'm still my podcast hit 100,000 listens
Oh, good for you.
last week. Yeah, I got a little medal thing. It was very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, this new adventure called retirement is a lot busier than my regular life was before retirement. So
Oh, I've heard that
so
from many people.
yeah,
But
but
other than being busier than you were, how are things?
good. I find that being home all the time and scheduled to myself is a bit annoying. I really need somebody else to tell me that it's time to get up and go to work, things like that.
Mm.
I'm not very well self maintained, I don't think. But I'm getting some writing done, and I'm doing a lot of editing of other people's stuff. So my book stuff is going, and I'm enjoying this adventure in Twitch. I do the writers. I've started making Thursday the writers open mic, and
Mm.
then Sunday I play Age of Empires, and chat and play a little story cube with people, and then Tuesday nights I play another game called Among Us, and all my grandchildren play it. So
Nice.
we you get on there, and that's fun. It's a sneaky uh, espionage type game, so it's fun too. Yeah, so
Nice.
things are doing pretty well, and um, all things are going good at home. We've been talking about getting a dog. Where nobody wants a cat because I don't want cat litter.
I have cat allergies anyways, so
Yeah, and that you hear Danny in the so that's hyperlinks 256 on here. And so, but he's been thinking about maybe a assistance dog for him.
Mm.
But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I didn't want to do that until I was home because I didn't think it
Mm.
was fair to the dog, right?
Right, right.
But now that I'm home all the time,
just in case I wander off to work somewhere.
yeah. So, and plus, it might be good to get me out walking. I use a treadmill because I don't want to go outside. It's cold
It's cold and miserable, yes.
right now. Yeah, yeah. But I find though a little bit of anxiety when I do go out to say Walmart or something that's a big store like that. They're packed. There's all these
Mm.
people that don't want to behave, and I just it's really anxiety producing. So I
Yes,
have
I
to
agree.
think twice about going out. I just usually payday I go out and do run errands and hit Walmart or something. And holy crap, it's just too much. I don't like crowded places, anyways. Never did. I always like to shop at off hours, but I really being home and not experiencing crowds of any kind. Um, yeah, it's really anxiety producing. One of the
Mm.
side effects.
Yeah.
I'm I'm not one who social distance well. I like to be, visiting with people and hugging people and that kind of stuff. So that's a bit of a drag, but
Mm.
this will be over too soon, they say.
Before this last round of being locked in, a friend of mine had a gathering in her backyard of a small number of people. And what she'd done was she'd set up, um, she manufactured a shower curtain and then gotten the kind of gloves that you put on to help a cow give birth that come up to the elbow and attached them to holes in the shower curtain so you could actually stand on one side of the shower curtain, put your arms around somebody and
Oh,
actually hug them.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What a good idea.
Yeah. She's definitely people are very differently affected, I think. Um and we're also individual in terms of how much touch we want and when we want it and from whom. And
Yes.
yeah, and she's one who's it's a big burden on her that there's nobody to grab. So
Yeah. Yeah. I know several people like that. I'm like that sort of, but I can behave, you know.
mm,
Um, but I certainly miss the cuddles with, especially I've got two new grandchildren that had both of them
mm,
just turned a year in the last month or so. So they're just little babies, and you can't even, when they will sit still and you can cuddle them. I miss
mm,
that. Now they're up and around, and they won't, you can, yeah.
No.
So, yeah, there won't be any Nana snuggles. It's very,
Probably
mm.
riding ATVs knowing them.
little bit disturbing, yeah. So, comment here, gonna chill and hang out, okay? And someone, about this shopping crowds. Someone says that the same with them. They like the 24-hour stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and that's it for comments. All right. So you want to give us your other piece?
Sure.
Oh
Do you
no.
want something from Blood Rain or do you want something from something else?
I showed them all three books, so
Oh, okay.
whatever you
Oh,
like.
I missed the applause. I forgot to do it.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to be applause after someone reads. There we go.
Too funny. Okay, let's see here. 59. So this is part of a short story called 35 Arrested After Riot in Vegan Strip Club.
It's from this book, right?
Yep.
Oh, oh, all right, it's on camera. There we go. It's from that book. Okay.
Yep. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can finish reading it on my website because there's a couple of free stories there at chloecocking.com. Kaylee stifled a sigh as she rubbed John's face in her sweaty cleavage. She tossed her long black hair over one shoulder in a practiced gesture. Wednesday nights were always a very slow night for lap dances. Club V was particularly empty tonight. Privately, Kaylee blamed all of the late night Christmas shopping extravaganzas. Almost all of her midweek regulars were standing in line to buy iPhones or Xboxes or some such shit. There were only 4 shopping days left until Christmas. The only regular who'd come in tonight was John. Of course, he was the one Kaylee liked the least. It wasn't that John was intimidating or threatening. He was just so awkward. He spilled his drink at least once every evening. He never realized when he had spinach in his teeth. His personal hygiene left something to be desired, and worst of all, he thought he was witty and charming. Tonight was no different than any Wednesday since Club V had launched. He appeared about 15 minutes after the club opened, ate 3 plates of food from the vegan buffet, and stared expectantly at the stage until the first dancer came on. When Kaylee started to circulate among the customers offering lap dances, he had greeted her as he always did. Hey, bouncy Miss Kaylee, good to see you, sexy mama. Tell me, is the V in Club V for vegan or vajayjay? Then he smiled with satisfaction, as though this was the cleverest thing imaginable. Kaylee's own sense of humor trended more to the absurd, dysfunctional cheese shops, ex-parrots, but she pasted a grin on her face and giggled anyway. all part of being professional on the job, after all. She took a step back from John's lap and turned around. She bent her widespread legs and placed her hands on her hips. She started to twerk just a couple of inches over John's lap, snapping her pelvis to the tempo of the hip hop blasting from the club's sound system. Kaylee reflected that it wasn't just John's sexism or his tedious repetition that annoyed her. She was aware there were boring and cheesy people in every workplace. No, what bothered Kaylee was how disrespectful John could be to the concept of veganism itself. Why does he bother to come to a vegan club if he hates veganism so much? It doesn't make any sense. He'd go over to classy ladies over on Templeton just as easily. Kaylee turned around, once again stuffing John's face into her cleavage. And that's the other thing. For a guy who claims he hates rabbit food, he can sure pack away the sag soy paneer, all the while complaining we don't serve hot wings. Who does that? Can't the vegans of Portland have one meat-free, sexually themed club? The whole thing struck Kaylee as very unfair. Her gyrations grew faster and faster the more she thought about it. Ow, said John, face muffled by Kaylee's cleavage. Kaylee stopped moving. What's the matter, baby? She cooed. Goff me. Kaylee stepped back from John. He clapped a hand over his nose protectively. What happened? What's wrong? She asked. John moved his hand away from his nose. Kaylee realized the rim of John's left nostril was bleeding from a tiny slit. She had managed to nick him with one of the sequins on her push-up bra. Oh shit, not again. John, I'm so sorry. Let me get the first aid kit. I'll fix you, Kaylee said. She started walking towards the bar. No, it's okay, darling. I'm okay. Just come back and dance some more, John said, dabbing at his nose with a paper napkin from the dispenser on the table. Kaylee continued toward the bar anyway. Pete, the manager at Club V, had been furious the last time she'd accidentally cut a customer on her sequin bra. Kaylee, this is a vegan club, he'd screamed. It's important that the club stay 100% blood-free at all times. We can't be getting any blood on the floor or in the drains or anything. Kaylee had not been intimidated by Pete's outbursts. Customers aren't going to be licking the floor or the drains, are they? Why does it matter? She asked. Fuming, Pete had grumbled. It just does, okay? We were really lucky this time. Even though that guy got cut, we kept it contained, so we're all right. Next time, we might not be so lucky. But the blood isn't going into the food, so who cares? I just don't get it, Kaylee said, shrugging her bronzed and glitter-gelled shoulders. Pete had sighed heavily and taken a deep breath to calm himself. Consider it a matter of principle, Kaylee. It's essential to our business model. Besides, you benefit from the policy. That's why all you dancers get time off with pay when you get your monthlies, he had argued. Kaylee had thought it over at the time, and because she liked the paid time off, she didn't object further. Every workplace has a few weird rules. I wonder if he's blood-phobic. I think that's called homophobia. I should remember to look that up on my phone when I'm on break. Kaylee pushed those thoughts aside. I don't know what Pete is going to do with another sequin incident. He's going to ban this costume for sure. It's a 2-time offender. He looked down at the green and red sequined bra she was wearing. This is my best holiday season costume. If he bans it, what else can I wear that's festive? Kaylee was damned she'd do what some of the other dancers did, wear Santa or elf hats while they danced. Kaylee considered herself an artist, and her costumes were an integral part of that. I guess I have the silver lame one. I could maybe get some glitter stick-on tattoos that looks like snowflakes, maybe do a Jack Frost theme. When she reached the bar, she told Amber, the bartender, that she needed the first aid kit. How come? You didn't cut yourself, did you? Asked Amber with alarm. Amber dug a hair elastic out of the front pocket of her jeans and started to pull her long red hair into a ponytail. No, not me. I nicked John's nose with the sequin, Kaylee explained. Worry flashed over Amber's face like gathering storm clouds. Oh shit, she said, looking over Kaylee's shoulder at John on the other side of the room. What? Is Pete out here walking around checking on us? Asked Kaylee. Staring at John, Amber said, No, I think he's going to knock those bloody tissues off the table with his elbow. John, no, be careful with those tissues. John turned his head to look at Amber. He looked at her quizzically and shrugged. His elbow hit a crumpled, bloody tissue and it fell to the floor. Kaylee could hear a scream from Pete's office. The club patrons and dancers went silent. Rick, the DJ, one headphone held against his ear, pressed pause on his equipment. The silence was deafening. The manager's office door flung open violently, and Pete stood in the doorway, his chest heaving and his eyes wild. "Amber," he shouted, "there's blood on the floor. I feel it." "I'm on it," she shouted back. Amber ducked behind the bar and pulled out a sawed-off shotgun. Even cut down, the shotgun was almost as long as Amber's short arms. She moved the slide on the gun, loading shells into the chamber. The sound of the gun cocking drew all eyes to Amber. Several men stood up slowly from their tables and started to edge their way to the exit. The dancer on stage slowly backed up to duck behind the stage curtains. "Take this," Amber said to Kaylee, handing her the shotgun over the bar. "You're going to need it. Take off your stupid platform shoes, too. You're tall enough to aim for their heads without them." "Their heads?" "Yes, aim for their fucking heads, bitch. Now take off your shoes." Kaylee stepped out of her high-heeled clear acrylic mules. Flat-footed, she stood about 5'7", 6 inches taller than Amber. Amber ducked down behind the bar again and came back up with a sword. "Why the fuck does she have a sword back there?" Placing a hand on the polished wood of the bar top, Amber vaulted over the bar and landed on the balls of her feet next to Kaylee. Kaylee gaped at her. I had no idea Amber knew parkour. "Pete," Amber shouted, "get the herbs ready." Kaylee was about to ask Amber what was going on when the floor started to rock and buck under their feet. She could hear the customers and dancers behind her yelling and running around. She grabbed Amber's shoulder before Amber could bolt away. "What the hell is going on? Is this an earthquake? Who am I supposed to shoot? I don't want to kill customers," screamed Kaylee above the din. Amber's blue eyes flashed like shards of pitiless glass. "Not customers, dummy. The restless dead. Turn around and look." Amber shoved Kaylee's shoulder to make her turn around. Sections of the concrete floor were rippling and buckling, coming away in chunks. It was as if a mole of monstrous size was burrowing just under the floor of Club V. Kaylee watched in shock as two hands appeared, digging their way out of a nearby pile of concrete rubble. The hands were tinged green from mold, and a tar-like black ichor oozed from under the broken fingernails. The tendons in the hand tensed, and Kaylee looked on in horror as the dead man pulled himself up through the hole he had made. He was still buried from the waist down and seemed to be gathering his energies to climb out of the earth the rest of the way. His face was not much more than strings of rotted meat, but his eyes blinked and settled on Amber and Kaylee. He started to snarl and growl, hands scrabbling for purchase in the rubble. And I'll leave it there.
That's truly creepy.
Thank you.
We've got a comment. I had to roll back here.
Which one?
Heavy Man says, "I love this book." And
But he also asked if you planned on getting married.
yeah, I think he's talking to you, Chloe. Wants to know if you plan on getting married. I think he loves your work.
Oh, I see.
Right. Sublime.
Well, I'm open to all offers. We'll see.
There you go. You heard it first here. Sublime Dub Bubby says, "Polykiss, you always make my day and make me laugh." There you go. Thank you very much. Happy faces, and so somebody says, "Ended my drink." Some says, "Sounds like the bar around the corner from me." And then someone else,
Yeah, some of these names of her regulars are just like, what?
Fem's Biermer or something. I wonder what their perspective was like. Whose perspective? The people in the bar?
Who said that?
Once it's Fern's Beamer. And then
That's an interesting idea, to write a zombie story from the perspective of the zombies.
yes.
Climbing out of the ground and whatnot.
Yes. Or maybe even the other people in the bar wondering what was going on. Yeah. And that's the comments so far. That I like that book too. A lot of good stories in there. So we should do a giveaway.
Oh, what?
What?
I wasn't ready for that.
Well, we should do a giveaway. We should have done one already, but it's
Hang on, I have to log in.
7. Yeah, we should do a giveaway. So, whilst Hyperlinks gets himself organized there. If you are on chat and you want in on the good heavens, 412 viewers. That's good. If you are interested in participating in the giveaway, the prize is a code that you can go and get a free ebook, and Chloe's two of them up there. I notice I don't have Hector up there, but they're the books that she's read from so far tonight are both up there. And so you do type in chat !iBooks, and we'll run a draw.
Yeah, because the bot hasn't been running, so.
Yeah, so you're gonna do it, or no?
No, not yet. I only got one person registered.
Oh, okay. So type in !iBooks, and you'll be counted for the draw. There's one. There we go. I like seeing them. If we set up the bot, it'll tell me. It'll just enter everybody. But I prefer to see them say, ask for it. iBooks. Then at least
Sometimes we won't do the giveaway unless they actually say the word giveaway in chat.
I'm making it known that I just followed you. Well, you did. I don't see the follow, but thank you.
Oh, follows aren't working tonight on Twitch.
Follows aren't working tonight on Twitch. Wonderful. It's always something.
But you'll get credit for them.
Thank you for the follow then. Oh, there's lots of people. Good stuff. I like to see it because I like to know that. We can enter you just because you're here, but that you want to participate.
It's more fun that they
and you know what the prize is, and you're actually participating knowingly. Is your friend there, heavenly heavy man, that asked if you wanted to get married. He's asked for a book, so there you go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you read what I've written and you're still willing to sleep next to me.
Don't stand still too long. You might get written into a book.
There you go. And when we do the, this is going to go up to YouTube. And when we do that, we'll put your social info in the description of the YouTube, so people will be able to get hold of you.
Perfect.
But the Philadelphia Books link is on the chat as well, right? It comes up every once in a while.
Yeah, especially when I do this.
There we go. Yeah. So that her books are available there, and we can certainly pass along messages as well.
The bot has caught up to us. There's like 400 people entered.
There we go. Okay.
Excellent.
So let's do the...
Hang on. I'll do this first. Oh, that's not allowed.
Oh, no, you can't
That's not allowed.
You can't win the giveaway. How did that happen?
I don't know. Let's do it again.
Okay.
No drum roll this time. Sorry.
Oh, no, there's another one.
I just did it.
Okay. How? Puted's Disker
Wow.
has won the giveaway.
Excellent.
I think that's how you say that. Puted Disker has won the giveaway. So please whisper to Hyperlinks 256 and he'll tell you how to collect your prize. And you have to do the A.
Oh.
Yay.
I'm asleep here.
And Puted Disker is on there because he or she says woot woot. So
Excellent.
that's good. Alrighty.
So you want to play Story Cubes?
Yes. Do you want to play some?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a set of cubes, the originals. The originals.
She needs to see those, so.
And I can throw them and then show them to you one by one.
Sure.
And then we'll take a break, and you and I can write, and maybe folks at home here might write too. And if they do, anybody that wants to read, I can give the same Zoom link and you can come in on Zoom. But most people just whisper it to hyperlinks and I read it for them. Because people are generally shy about reading their stuff, right?
Especially live.
it takes a bit of practice and stuff to be willing to read. Right? Okay, so I'm throwing them. Do you have the app for your phone?
No, I
For
don't.
Cubes? I do, and you can buy a bunch of different ones, so you don't have to look at the same ones all the time. There's one that's intergalactic I'm thinking of getting because I thought that would spur my sci-fi brain. That didn't mix up very well.
So are there any rules? What do I need to know about playing story cubes in your world?
I just throw them. I show you the 9, and you write with using as many as you can
Okay.
in the time limit that we have.
Okay.
I had usually I was for a while throwing them and posting them, and then the next time I would read. So people would have a whole week to write something, and I always can use all 9 cubes. And someone on my chat said, "Well, whatever, you got a whole week to write stuff. Let's see you do it right now." So I said, "Okay, fine." And I threw a set of cubes and wrote it as I was talking to them.
Would you like to do a round where we just talk it through?
You could?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's better. Shake them.
Don't drop them.
Shake them up. Some like Yahtzee where you keep throwing 5s. All right, so I'll give them to you. You want to write? So you know that you can. Each cube can be taken a bunch of different ways. It's however you take it, the picture, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just show you what's on here.
Okay.
So the first one is where am I? The clock.
You ever show her to the webcam, the little one?
This one here.
Yeah. She sees a different view than everybody else does.
Okay, there.
Okay, the clock, yeah.
It's not a clock, it's a pocket watch.
Pocket watch.
Yeah. You see that?
Yep.
How about you folks at home? Can you see that? So it's a pocket watch, I believe.
Nobody's said anything.
I think this is looks like a directional thing, like a compass or something.
Okay.
Somebody says, "Hold closer, please."
Hold closer. There you go. Okay. Tedious Sortius is apparently working with us. That's awesome. Okay, and this one here, I have 2 cameras, so I got to show Chloe on the webcam.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
so padlock.
Yeah, and then I'll show you guys on my GoPro. There you go. Yeah, that's
So that was my bad.
what?
I forgot to deselect mods.
Oh. Okay, then we got the unhappy face. And here you guys go. Unhappy face. There you go. All right, that's 4. And this is, I think, the flashlight.
Are you sure it's a flashlight or is it a magic wand?
Well, it could be if you held it this way, it could be like a flogger too.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's whatever. Oh, I'm trying to find the camera here. There we go. This way it can be like a flogger or a magic wand. Yeah, it could be. Or it could be a flashlight that way. Whatever you think. And then there's this one. And where are you? Here. Cane. Showing them at home. Okay. And then we have, it's like the cover of one of my books.
What's the shape of the pupil?
Jeez, I don't know. It's circular. Hang on. It's circular, but it's like it's indented. And there are some markings to it, so it could be sort of a gem too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring it up closer for you again. Here.
Okay, thank you.
There you go, guys at home. Alrighty. And then this one.
The book?
Yeah, looks like a book. There you are. Looks like a book. Somebody's how many games do I stream? I stream 2 different games. Well, 3 counting this. It's not really a streaming game. This one always makes me think of you think it's Batman with the Joker or with the Penguin in front of him, but it almost looks like the Penguin thinks he's throwing a Batman shadow.
Oh, see, I have it that the shadow is indicative of the inner evil
Yeah.
of the
Oh.
smaller character. That's how you can tell. He looks cute and sweet on the outside, but his true essence shows through in his shadow.
Ah. There we go. Okay, for guys at home, and that's the last one. So, I'm going to take a break with these guys, and a couple minutes, and then I'll come back, and then we can work on the story together, write the story together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do that. Okay, folks. We'll be right back. We're back. And I'm gonna put this back up so that I'm small and you're big. There we go.
Okay.
All right. And we'll turn this music down just a wee bit. There. Okay. So, what are we doing with this story we've got?
Well, pocket watch. It seems a shame to use it as a timepiece. I'd rather use it as some kind of precious treasure for someone, maybe left to them by their great grandfather. It's the only thing they have, etc., etc. With the second thing, the compass rose, I was thinking it would make a really interesting tattoo on someone's shoulder. So there might be a way to work that in.
Okay.
I didn't have anything particularly creative for padlock, just a locked room. Ditto the meh face, where they're kind of like unhappy, but not super unhappy. Didn't have anything for that.
Could the padlock?
Beyond the obvious.
Could the padlock be on a box that's left to them in an inheritance that has the pocket watch in it?
Yep. Yep. Well, and I don't suppose anybody would bequeath a magic wand to someone. So with the flashlight, I wonder if the box is with the padlock on it is hidden somewhere and someone has to use a flashlight to try to find it.
Or it could be a magical flashlight, because I'm looking at this the picture of the duck that is secretly an evildoer. And I liked your take on that. And what if the flashlight is magical in that you can shine it on someone and see who they truly are?
Right. Shows your essence. Yes. Oh, yeah. So that might be in the box with the pocket watch.
Could be.
I wonder if it's a magical flashlight that can reveal the essence of things. I wonder if the pocket watch doesn't tell time so much as it counts down to the death of the owner. So to be the owner of the pocket watch, the person would have to pick it up. So it goes from saying, both hands at midnight to the person picks it up, and all of a sudden, instead of showing standard numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, it shows years going around the dial,
Okay.
and is a countdown. So the clockwork runs backwards and shows a countdown to the year that you'll die.
Somebody's got a sense of humor in chat.
Or the flashlight, when shined on someone, turns them into a duck.
Nice.
Someone says I can tap dance in real life. Good for you.
I can't.
And someone else says, what can I do to help you get more viewership? I think you should have way more. How about a follow or a hype
Sub would
train
be better.
or a sub or whatever you like there. Flashlight turns us into a duck. I like that one. Okay. Now the other one that's the cane.
Yeah, I wondered about using the cane like a candy cane rather than a mobility device.
Okay. And the eye could be just, to see. Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, the eye and the book have a relationship. It made me think that maybe the book is a diary or a journal that tells the truth of these various magical objects in this padlock box.
Okay.
Oh,
So I think the only thing that we don't have something for is the compass rose. Maybe that's carved into the lid of the box.
I liked your idea of the tattoo.
Of it being a tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, because here's the thing, is that once you see that compass rose carved into the box, the person who's inherited or found this box isn't necessarily a believer of what they read in the diary until they start seeing that symbol everywhere, tattooed on the guy working behind the counter at the coffee shop, and billboards as they're in the corner, maybe as a logo on someone's clothing. Suddenly they see it everywhere, so they start to wonder,
by the way,
It's a good idea. And
you now have 3 more stories in Discord.
Oh, I have a bunch of stories in Discord. Okay, so people are whispering me stories that they've written. So, how about I leave you to pull together a story from these notes? I took the notes. Did you take notes with what we were saying?
No, but I'll remember.
Are you, because I can give it back to you if you want.
No, I think I got it.
Okay, so you work on one, and I'll read what they've got, and come back to you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So you can be on the side here listening. I will go up to.
These are all horror stories.
They're all horror stories, really?
Well, that's appropriate.
Some of them
Okay.
are kind of creepy. And they're separated by 3 dots, like you like.
Okay. All right. So I'm going back to. You're in the smaller screen, and I'm in the larger screen, and I've got my Discord. Where is it? Come over here.
Here.
Here we go. All right. So then I'm going to read, and Chloe's going to write, and we'll get back to her shortly. The first one you said was a Bob story?
It's a Bob story, yeah.
Okay.
It was in the list of the zip file he sent me.
Okay. So the first one is from our famous Bob.
We could, by the way, you should clarify why we call him Bob.
He asked us to because the name that he uses on here is way too long. Okay. I need to make this window bigger. There we go. Okay, there we go. Where are you? I screamed. Panicked, I run through the abandoned farm. I can't find her. Not in the old house. Not in the barn. I run into the empty field, heart racing. As I scan the area, I run into a mound of dirt and trip. Sprawling to the ground, getting up, it hits me. Abandoned farm. I tripped over freshly tilled earth. Crouching down, I start frantically clawing with my hands. Scooping handfuls of dirt, I hit something hard. Wood. Are you in there? I cry, pressing my ear to the wood. I hear muffled cries. I start digging again, but realize it's taking too long. Looking around, I see a garden shed. I sprint to it. Ripping the door open, I see a shovel, still caked in dirt, probably the same one that bastard buried her with. I grab it, running back. I start digging with purpose. Soon the wooden box is exposed. I toss the shovel and rip open the crate. She stares back at me, eyes wide, bound, gagged, but alive. I sigh with relief. Thank God I reached into my bag, pulling out my rag and chloroform. I crouch down, placing it over her face. She struggles, faints. I toss her over my shoulder. Ah, hell, my brother says as I walk back to the truck with a smirk. You found her. Yeah, you almost had me, though. I laugh. All right, my turn. Where did you put her? I gesture to the creek area. Somewhere over there. Drowning's an issue, though. Jerk, he says, running off. I smile, watching him go. I love adult hide-and-seek. That's creepy. Okay, so then we have 3 short stories here. Who are these from?
I have no idea. Just showed it to my whisper.
Okay, just from
We'll call it
from viewers anonymously whispering us stories. That's cool. Okay. Mommy told me never to go to the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy, so I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before, and made me sad, and I cried. Then Mommy told me never to go into the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. Ew. Creepy. Love it. Okay, next up. When my daughter was 2, I found her twirling paper towel tubes tied with twine in the air. I asked her what she was doing. She said she was practicing her nunchucks. I was very confused, as she'd have no way of knowing what they were. I asked her what she meant, and she said that Adam had told her how to make them and showed her each night how to use them. She went on to say that Adam told her to practice because she may need to know how to defend herself someday. I almost freaked out, but I asked her what Adam looked like. She said he was tall, blonde, and had blue eyes. She said, Mummy, you know how he looks. You know him. He died of a headache. I had to leave the room. You see, 4 months before she was born, my tall, blonde, blue-eyed martial arts pro friend had died of a brain aneurysm at the age of 27. She has not spoken of him since that day, so I'm not sure if I scared her with my action or if she had completed her lessons. Wow, that's creepy. Okay, next, and the
That
last...
was really good.
That was good, yeah. They're all good. Okay, so then the last one. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple trees in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward across the room toward us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we'd moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she'd hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was the old wooden chair, placed exactly in the center of the room. That's creepy too. Well done. Yeah, no, but those are good. Awesome. Okay. So
Can't hear. I don't have my headphones.
we're back. So did you want me to help you with that? Now that I've read those, they were creepy. I don't know if you heard any of it.
I did.
They were super, super creepy. And I'm going to change the screen here to, so there, yeah, there. That's better. Okay, so how are you getting with that? Do you want me to help you? Because we were supposed to write this together, I realize.
Sure. Well, here's what I've got so far. Sam didn't know why he'd agreed to clean out his great-great-uncle's attic, except for, the crushing guilt that would be heaped on him by various family members if he didn't. So he decided to sacrifice a sunny Saturday and just get it done. But just because he was doing it didn't mean he had to like it. The dust settled into his frown lines and made him sneeze.
Okay.
And so from there, I was going to have him unearth the box and describe the box. And
so he can have one sneeze where he jars himself into a stack of boxes and they all fall over and he finds this box with the insignia on the top and a padlock. And he's found a set of keys with a bunch of different keys on it, key ring, with a bunch of different key rings on. And he pulls that out and tries to see if one of these keys fits. He finds one that does and opens the box.
okay. And then inside the box, there's a pocket watch, what looks like a flashlight, and a book that appears to be some kind of a diary.
Those were the only things that were in there, hey?
Could be other stuff in there if you need other stuff to be in there.
No, just like you say, oh, with the candy cane, that was the thing that was missing.
I wondered about the I kind of don't know what to do with the candy cane, so I was thinking I could just take the easy way out and have the cane be stacked up amongst the clutter, and it's something he knocks over, and that's how it kind of creates a sort of chain reaction of things that fall, and that's how he discovers the box.
Okay.
So the cane falls over and hits a stack of newspapers, which slide over to the side and knock a closed box over, a closed cardboard box over, and then items inside the cardboard box spill out, and one of the things is this padlock box.
All right. Okay, so he's got the keys, and I got you the keys in the box open.
Okay.
So in the box is those things. So his unhappy about having to do it in the first place could be your happy face, your unhappy face.
That was
right?
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and the compass rose on the top of the box.
Yeah.
Right, and then we have the flashlight, the pocket watch, and the book inside.
Yeah.
So he, I suppose, at this point, has a look at the things to see what they are, and sees that the clock is actually running backwards. So it's probably the pocket watch is running backwards.
Yes, and that the numbers on it are strange. That for some reason, it starts with whatever year this is taking place in and ends at 2071. Um, the other thing I think would be fun to do would be to have the character be a young enough character that he can't read cursive. So the diary, he's got to find an older person to help him because he can't read cursive.
That's a good idea. And then he's not sure what this flashlight is useful for.
Yeah.
So he takes the box with him because he's had enough of the dust for the day.
Yeah, he takes the box with him. And it's on the way out of the house that he starts to notice the compass rose insignia on all kinds of things.
You laughing at me because I yawned?
Nope, I'm laughing at your chat.
Oh. Somebody says, okay, with all this creepy stuff, I'm not going to sleep now. Thanks.
So maybe he goes to, perhaps Sam is a university student, and so he takes the box to someone he knows at the university, a professor or some other, like a research assistant or somebody who knows about these things, and ask them for help in decoding the diary. Maybe an historian.
I was thinking the antiquities professor or something.
Exactly. Yeah. But really anybody over 50 because they can read cursive.
Yes. Okay. And
Wait, we're supposed to be able to read that stuff?
Yes. Oh. Yes, you're supposed to be able to read that stuff. Okay, so then he takes it to his friend or his someone he's close to that would be able to read that.
Yeah, his mentor. Or actually it would be funny because the trope of the eager young student and the wise professor, and they have this positive relationship. Maybe this professor is not so wise, and maybe Sam is not his favorite student at all, and Sam has just kind of made up this relationship in his head, but it isn't that way at all.
Okay, and then you would maybe discover how bad that relationship is with the flashlight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so he takes the box of stuff to this Professor Oswald, who is his supposed mentor, or a mentor in his own mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so he reads through it. He reads through the journal, despite himself. He's not happy about this. Doesn't want to deal with it. But comes across something in the book that catches his eye.
Yeah, it's too tantalizing to put down.
Yeah, so then he realizes through reading the book that what the pocket watch is about.
Mm.
There's another one.
And thanks for the follow, adorable Rillard, whatever. Oh, and thanks for the follow, sensible nations. How do they get these names? Anyways, so Professor Oswald is reading this, and he discovers that the pocket watch, would it be something archaic in there? We're not quite sure yet what the pocket watch is about, or would it be explained completely, do you think, in this journal? Would it be a journal of discovery? That, oh, by the way, this happened, and then this happened, and then, oh, and not exactly directions?
I would suggest that maybe it's a journal. It's almost like a work log where the great uncle actually made or manufactured these items, machined them himself, and imbued them with different kinds of magical powers. And so it's not so much a diary as it is a log of his the work that the steps that he followed and the materials he used and the ingredients and what it's all for and how he imagines people will use it.
Right. I wonder if the eye cube could be one's third eye, and that this the magic of the journal inspires the intuition and the ability to see what isn't there. So the flashlight and the pocket watch together. So I wonder, rather than have it mark your time on Earth, I wonder if it could be time travel.
Sure.
That you set the clock to a certain time as if you were wanting an alarm or something, and then you would travel to that time. What do you think?
Yes, I like the idea of time travel. I always have some, like, here's why I've never written a time travel story. How is it that you take your clothes with you? And then if you can't take your clothes with you, how is it that you're coping with you turn up random places naked?
Sounds like a Terminator story. Traveling naked. I think
But
that
it, like, for example, the glasses that I'm wearing have fairly high-tech lenses, and they're made out of plastic. How could I take an object like that back into the past? I'm not sure that I could. So I would have a heck of a time seeing anything.
right. There was a movie, a time travel movie where he had to find clothes that were manufactured in the time that he wanted to go to. So he had to go to antique stores and he got clothes that were from the 1920s. And then he managed to travel back in time. I forget how he did it, but I remember how he came back, because he put his hand in his pocket and there was a quarter from this time in his pocket, and he looked at the quarter and instantly he was back in his own time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So having things from other times would be a problem if you were time traveling. Yeah, I think, because it would be noticeable to people around you, and yeah, so there is that issue. But it could be that you're setting yourself back in your own time, but like a few minutes or an hours, to be able to redo something that happened in your own life space, right?
Do you think we'd all be less anxious and guilty if we could have, like, call a 20-minute mulligan on things?
Possibly, or we'd be stuck in a mulligan loop. No, I didn't get it right yet. Do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be fun.
Well, and I also wonder, if you were to have time travel like that, where people are calling a mulligan, if doing it too much in some ways tore the fabric of time.
Right.
And that could be something that happens to Sam in this story, is that if the watch allows him to time travel, maybe he overuses it. Because I would suggest,
did.
or maybe the uncle did, or maybe there's only so many uses per user, and then after that you have to give it to somebody else, or at least put it away and not use it anymore.
Or maybe it takes time off you. So if you redo a day, then your life is now a day shorter.
Yes. Yeah, that would work.
And then we don't have to worry about the clothes.
But I think all these things would probably be detailed in the diary or the work log in some way.
Or he might make mistakes using the things because he hasn't read the book. Totally. And then he'll go back and see the professor and he'll say, oh, by the way, you're not supposed to do this, this, and this. Oh, yeah, I know that now because this happened. Yeah, that could be too.
Yeah, I think so. I'd also, the fact that the compass rose design keeps turning up in lots of different places. What if Sam isn't the only one that wants this little box of treasures? What if other people have been looking for it? And now they're looking for Sam as well.
Ah.
So it's not just that you've got this callow young character who's a bit brash and impulsive, who's, fooling around with time travel devices and magic flashlights and so on. It's also the case that he's being hunted by somebody, and that could also be the eye with the indented pupil.
Yeah, maybe that's their insignia. The
Yeah.
group that maybe the uncle was part of the group and disassociated himself from to go off on his own, and they're looking for him to find out what the heck he's up to. And now they are after Sam.
Yep.
Yeah. This could be a book.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a short story. It would be a novel for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of twists and turns.
And the other thing that I would have Sam do is have it cast a light. Maybe Sam has a girlfriend, and in the way of young men, because she's very beautiful and sexy, he thinks she's awesome. And it would be nice to have her shown as being not awesome via the flashlight. Perhaps something everybody can see except Sam.
Ah.
Because I kind of want to play Sam off a bit like a dummy,
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely the fool going on a journey. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And possibly everyone else thinks so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Including the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who might be a part of the eye group that's hunting him.
Could be. Yeah. The Society of the Burning Eye.
It has a lot of potential.
Yeah, so anybody who wants to write it.
Yes.
They all seem to be really silent right now, which means they're listening intently.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's interesting to hear how people who write. Like people are always saying, "Well, how do you do stuff?" So it's interesting to hear how you think and work out the details for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Sam look like?
I would have him be average height, average weight, mixed race, like half white and half black. Because I think that poses some interesting considerations in time travel. Have him be green-eyed. Maybe that's a family trait on both sides of the family, that they're green-eyed. What else does he look like?
Is he average, or do you think he's a handsome young man that lots of girls fall all over, or would he be sort of average, and then this beautiful girlfriend is out of his league, and so he's impressed just based on that?
Yeah. I think have him be average and kind of a nerd, like just not like socially awkward and not great with small talk or any of the things that help young people meet each other and socialize and stuff. So he's not great with that stuff.
Right.
So you said
he's a bit slow, but you think this just relationship wise?
Yeah. Well, I think he's one of those highly intelligent people who lacks common sense. And when I say that I think he's a bit of a dummy, that's really what I mean. And yeah, it's just that he might have a brilliant mind for all kinds of things like physics, but he can't remember to take his socks off before he gets in the shower. And by the way, they don't match.
Uh-oh, you offended a nerd in channel.
Uh-oh, I'm a nerd, but But Remy, you're a nice nerd.
He said, "Hey, nerds are people too."
Nerds are people too. Yep.
Well, Sam, there's nothing wrong with Sam being a nerd. And it's all good.
Yeah, I think nerds are kind of cute. As I sit here drinking my Romulan beer.
You're
Ale.
Romulan
Ale.
beer. You're Romulan.
You don't even know what it is.
I do. It's lime.
Even with the tea I poured you. Jeez.
Well, no shade on nerds.
Yeah. No.
Just so it's been said.
And so the girlfriend would be named
Delilah.
Delilah.
Because doesn't
Yeah.
that just tell you everything
Yeah.
you need to know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking Jezebel, but I like Delilah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe people call her Lila for short,
Okay.
but her full name is Delilah.
She's in denial. So, and she would be a little bit taller than him, and on the slender side, but not, model skinny.
Yeah, I have it. I had a different image in my mind.
Okay.
So I was thinking of one of those women that's, 5'2", but has the presence of someone who's 6'2".
Okay.
Like, so much charisma and power packed into a tiny package.
Okay.
And the kind of people that when she's not around, other people refer to her as a force of nature.
Okay. Somebody wants a giveaway.
I saw that.
We did one actually, but we'll do another one. Pester Usher Stop.
Oh, you said the magic word.
Pester Shortstop. Yes. Okay, we got somebody ready. Exclamation point iBooks. Go for it. Would you say she was? I've just done editing a erotica written by a gentleman, and all of the women have big boobs. All of them. in his stories.
He's like in his 70s, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I have no need that she be buxom.
No, I think probably medium to small would suit that personality, perhaps.
Yes.
And then what does she do for a living? She also a student? How did they meet?
Ostensibly, she's a student. Ostensibly.
Uh-huh.
And ostensibly, she's the same age as he is, but not really. The reality is that this Society of the Burning Eye has had their eye on him for a while because they know who his great uncle is.
Right.
And they're looking for a way in to try to find artifacts. These might not be the only things the great uncle has created in his life. Right. And maybe a lot of those items, nobody knows where they are. So there's a lot of interest in trying to find them.
And so would she have been in the house helping him clean, or would he take her to the house to show her?
I don't think she would go with him. But she would want to meet up with him afterwards and talk about it and find out what he found.
Right. But she wouldn't want to go and look herself or bring some people in afterwards with her to look through stuff?
I think she'd float the idea to him. Wow, it's so interesting what you found. I bet there's more interesting stuff. Do you want me to come and help you if you go again?
Right. But he would go himself the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was thinking she would want to go and pick through things too if she was that invested in the results. At some point, she would want to go.
He may not have mentioned it to her. He might have just, oh, great, I'll go do this on Saturday, blah, blah, blah. And, then meets her for coffee afterwards and mentions where he's been. And she perks up and says, oh, well, I'll help you with that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I like old things. It's always so interesting.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we got 50 billion people doing this draw. Are you going to do the draw?
Yep, I just need to check the numbers.
Oh, I got 662 viewers showing up on mine.
Cool.
It was up at 1,000 again, over 1,200
Yeah.
a little while ago. It was up and down. Depends who's on. Like, I think Ninja just logged off, so.
Ah, okay.
I'll try not to win this one, okay?
Yeah, try not to win this one. Okay, do the draw.
Can you read it?
Would that be Wurrick-Eid?
Yeah, fuck, I said, who does these names?
Wurrick-Eid has won the giveaway. If you would whisper to Hyperlinks 256, he'll tell you how to claim that. And Chloe's books are definitely up there for the in the ebook form that you can get with this giveaway if you want. Absolutely.
Oh, speaking of that,
Oh, I got a yay me. So
Buddy had tried to order an actual book at the same time.
Oh,
so
that's
it
right.
actually bounced the code and wouldn't let him order either one.
Oh, well, that's the problem.
Shouldn't do that, though.
Yeah.
No, because it should apply the code to the ebook and not the other one. But what it did was refuse the whole thing.
Shopping cart issues.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Yay me. Okay. Okay, so this story workaround is.
Yeah, it's a bot.
That's a bot. Yeah.
It's a bot. Hi, bot.
We're talking. I've never done that before. Talk a story through. That's very interesting. It's interesting to see how your mind works. For sure. Could I persuade you to read something from Hector?
Sure.
Like, okay, now where did I put that copy?
Yeah. No, I actually put them within arm's reach of my chair in preparation for tonight.
That's this book. See, I got it.
I tell you, it had it tilted forward there. There was a bit of a shine on it.
Oh, was there?
Couldn't see it.
Like this? Oh, no. There. There. There we go. Hector.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hector is a book of poems. So those of you that are not into poetry, now is a great time to go get a sandwich. The first poem I'm going to read is called Church Bell. Everything outside is trying to kill me, I said. Nancy laughed. She thought I was kidding. Her bare feet describing gentle ovals in river water, as clear and cold as that church bell I heard in Amsterdam at 5 a.m. This one's called I'm More Than a Little Annoyed. I am arcing toward menopause right at the time various products for menstruation have developed past the point of let's just jam some cotton in there. Maybe I'll read one of the longer ones. I'm just trying to find one. Okay, this one's called An Ellipse Has 3 Dots, Asshole. In 1974, the Journal of Applied Behavior Analysis published The Unsuccessful Self-Treatment of a Case of Writer's Block. It contained a total of 0 words. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, because I can't be, because it is not 1974, or 1984, or 1994, or even 1854, as so many, it seems, would like it to be, except to say, if it was that hard to say what was on your mind, or important, or urgent, or true in 1974, it is more than hard now. Because once the beast ate truth greedy, it sucked down language too. So it is not just the problem L. Anderson noticed, that language is a virus. It is also that in post-truth, literally nothing sensible, sensible in the sense of making sense, can be said or written on the internet or anywhere else. Is there anywhere that is not the internet? So I propose this as a tool of resistance. Correct only grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Some of this work could be delegated to bots. No matter what the words, arguments, communication platforms, messaging, or some other bullshit term that's trending right now. I'm looking at you, disrupt, you traitorous motherfucker. Also, fuck the idea of trending while we're at it. Correct only grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Teenage Nazis tweeting about chugging milk. Correct their grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Angry men shouting about lying bitches ruining their reputations with accusations. Correct their grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Politicians telling humans from Illinois to go back to where you came from. Correct their grammar, spelling, and punctuation. I doubt it will do much more than confuse them at first, even if bots help us. But over time and with consistency, I think their discourse will unravel at the seams. Everything is a weapon if you hold it right.
I think that's my favorite in the book. Is that
Oh,
one.
really?
Yeah, I like that. A lot of piss and vinegar in there.
Well, that's why the book's called Hector. Everybody thinks, oh, Hector? Who's he? Who did you name it after? And it's like, no, it's not named after a person. It's the verb to Hector.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's quite a good book. I quite liked it.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So, my applausometer guy is gone, but yay! And we have no comments here. Anybody have questions for Chloe? This has been fun.
Yeah. Talking through story cubes is fun. It's something I could do all night long.
We could throw another set if you want.
Sure.
Okay. Shake them up. That's a bit different. Okay, so we've got thanks for the follow. We're Serva. An adorable led. Where are you? There.
Apple.
Yeah. So I'm showing this camera too. So the first one is an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Or it looks like, anyways. Then we have a directional arrow.
Got a William Tell thing going on now.
Yeah, an apple and an arrow. Sure, I'm showing the other camera. Okay, and then a turtle.
Turtle, okay.
Showing the other camera. A turtle. And this one looks like a pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a if you do it upside down, it might be like a cone.
Mm.
Or a funnel.
Could also be a four-sided dice.
Oh.
For D&D.
True enough. Question mark. Question mark. We got a half moon. Could be a banana too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Banana.
Right.
Just showing the other camera. There we go.
I don't know that a fruit and turtle salad would work though.
That would be kind of gross.
Yeah, I think so.
But you could have the sheep in it.
Mutton, turtle, banana, apple.
That's a that's a buffet on a cruise ship. There we go, and oh, here we go, more. It's a fish.
Mm.
Here we go, guys. A fish. Yep, we're doing another round of
Story cubes? Cool.
story cubes.
Okay, what about this?
Oh, there's one more. So the
clock.
last one is a clock.
Clock.
There, clock.
Okay, how
Oops.
does this grab you? The Amazing Mysterion.
I'm showing all of them together.
Oh, perfect.
So can you see them?
Yep. Yeah. So, the Amazing Mysterion is an impresario that has a sideshow, and we'll set this in, I don't know, 1920s, around there. And the sideshow includes a telepathic turtle, a talking sheep, and a fish that can tell your fortune by dropping pebbles into jars, and based on that you divine your future. I would say that the circus tent that all this takes place in is marked with question marks and half moons and stars and other sort of mystical symbols. And I would say to you that the turtle is probably the Amazing Mysterion's favorite animal in the menagerie, and he likes to feed the turtle slices of apple. The turtle is really his confidant.
Turtle is also the one that takes you along the dreamscape to the underworld in Australian Aboriginal mythology.
I didn't know that.
And then the pyramid. Some people, I've seen mystics sit under a pyramid thinking that this is going to help them pull in the energy that they need to divine your future too.
There's a winery in the Okanagan that has all the wine made under a pyramid. And it actually tastes really good. I better than you'd expect. So I don't know what kind of pyramid power has added to the wine, but
yeah, some kind of a magnetic thing that pulls the tartness out or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Magneto, ultimately, I haven't figured out how to fit the clock in, but
maybe there's a clock on the outside of the tent that says the time of the next performance is right. You've seen those?
Yeah, and maybe a kid sneaks in between shows, possibly because they don't have the money to pay the 2 cents admission or whatever it would have been in 1922.
Right.
And they sneak in and they're kind of creeping around, checking out the exhibits, trying not to get caught by the Amazing Mysterion. And then there'd have to be some kind of confrontation between the child and the Amazing Mysterion.
What did you say the sheep was going to be doing?
Oh, the sheep. Oh, I don't remember. I'm sorry. I didn't write it down.
It was just before you were saying the fish was going to tell future by dropping stones into a pot into something, and that's how we took. But I didn't quite catch what the sheep was going to be doing.
The sheep was also doing something mystical. Perhaps telling your fortune by tapping. Maybe there's a set of tarot cards laid out in front of the sheep, and it comes and it taps on its hoof. You ask it a question, and it'll give you a 3-card spread in response by tapping on cards with its hooves.
Maybe the kid is after the sheep. Maybe the sheep was kidnapped from his farm, and he wants it back, or
Yeah, it could be.
or something.
Or it could be his turtle.
It'd be his turtle.
Yeah.
Yep, that's eating the apple. What are we doing with the arrow?
Haven't figured that one.
Maybe maybe the arrow's on a screw that it can spin, and the sheep, instead of tapping cards, the sheep hits the arrow and it directs yes or no answers to things.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Yeah.
That was almost too easy.
Yeah, no, it's only a short story, so it doesn't have a lot of there's no room for a lot of detail and texture in it. I'll tell you what threw me off a little bit was seeing apple and arrow juxtaposed. I started thinking about William S. Burroughs.
Oh yeah?
Because he used to do this thing with his wife, play William Tell, where they would have these parties and drink a lot, and he'd put an apple in her head and shoot it off with an arrow. And then one day he missed, and she died, and he ran away to Mexico to avoid prosecution for manslaughter.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, maybe all it is his story. And these are all things that he's experiencing in Mexico. He's living on a sheep farm in Mexico now.
Mm-hmm. What got me was the idea of the turtle. Turtles have sort of mystical meaning in a lot of different cultures. And the pyramid shape too, like running away to Mexico. There's that sort of Mayan and Aztec connection, right?
Right.
You got to follow. And a question.
Thank you for the follow, Rear Sentit. And every time I stream, somebody asks me how old I am. So, Birdie New Hody says, since no one has asked you yet, how old are you, Polykiss? I'm old enough to know better and young enough to try. Very funny. Anyways, so I like that there's another angle there that we could do the Mexico thing and go from that story that was tweaking you.
Are we going to Mexico?
Mexico we can do. I have quite a Mexican following.
Oh, no kidding. Sunday nights are full of Mexicans.
Yeah.
Okay, that didn't come out right.
Lots of Spaniards. They like the red hair. The red hair, they like grandma.
Whatever they called you.
Abuela.
Abuela, yeah. So Mexico with the fish and the, I don't know, they sheep herd, and I guess this one can sheep herd. And the turtle would be that you would see fish and turtles off the beach and on one. What is that island that's off the coast? Could be there. Interesting twists on things. You can see it several different ways.
Ooh, and Isn't there a clock, like a time telling? Oh no, maybe it was a calendar. Isn't there the Mayan calendar and the world's supposed to end in 2012, but really it's just because that's how far they organize their calendar.
Could do their calendar. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Alright, do you want me to throw them again one more time?
Sure, why not?
Alright.
Oh, I'm working on getting an intro done for you.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Now.
Oh,
That's
I'm
language.
good.
Supposed to use the beeper.
Alright, so we've got an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. An apple. Looks like a bee.
Okay.
Bee. Did I show the camera the apple? I can't remember. Oh, there. Okay. And then, like a light bulb. A light bulb. And then the eyeball is back. Oh, eyeball. Okay. And the turtle is back. Turtle wants to be told. Somebody says dolphins are their favorite animal. And by the way, I just celebrated my 61st birthday. That's how old I am. And I am a grandma.
Your birthday in January?
November.
Yeah.
61. So I took early retirement. Here.
It looks like an alien or a mask.
Yeah. Oh, right there. Yeah. And I am a grandma. I have 7 grandchildren. And 8 children of my own. I have 8 children and 7 grandchildren now. And I miss the big 25 people around the dinner table Christmas dinners. I miss those. My partner doesn't miss them really because the noise is a little too much for him. But yeah, so this would be a horseshoe, I believe.
Oh, see, I saw that as a magnet.
Oh yeah, it could be a magnet. And then we have a key. Key. There. Key. Okay. All right. So we've had 3 sets, people, in the viewing audience here. Let's see what you can write for us. Those. Come back next Thursday and have stuff for me to read from one of the 3 sets. Like, come on. Okay. I double dog dare you. There we go. Okay, so what are you and I doing with this? So the 2 faces together is like drama, like a
comedy and tragedy.
Comedy and tragedy. So theater, that says theater to me.
Okay.
Or emo.
If we theater or bipolar.
Yeah.
With the alien, to me the alien face also looked like it could be a mask. So maybe this is set in a theater, and they're doing some kind of highly stylized pantomime that involves masks on sticks, maybe.
Okay. I was thinking of Phantom of the Opera.
Sure.
That's a full mask, not a half mask. So
that's true.
Quite right. So, but a pantomime, yes. So a theater that they're doing a pantomime.
A masked pantomime
production, yeah.
And I think
Maybe this
When I
is
saw the magnet, I started thinking about something being magnetic, like being drawn to something but not really knowing why.
right.
And I wonder how, often we want things that aren't good for us, or we're drawn to things that aren't good for us.
Right.
Um, so I wonder if there's some way to work that into, it maybe it's um domestic noir, right? So it's about a relationship where one of the partners can't be trusted, and the central mystery circles on, is it as bad as I imagine, or are they not as bad as I thought?
Right. So I was looking at the apple, the bee, and the magnet and thinking about alternative health
Mm.
products and activities, and wondering
Mhm.
if the light bulb wasn't, oh, I got this idea, and here's what I'm doing, and all that stuff is the key to good health.
The light bulb could be from a sad machine too.
Yes. Yes.
Right? That's
Right.
a holistic treatment. Yeah.
So maybe the main character is a actor in this masked pantomime production
Mm-hmm.
that is starting to have trouble getting around, maybe age, maybe some disorders happening, and he's looking at alternative, or he or she is looking at alternative healthcare stuff, and maybe happens upon someone who leads them to one of these things. And I like that the eye has reappeared. It almost makes me want to make this chapter 2 of the burning eye group and
Right.
their ways.
Right. Yeah, it could be. Well, they might be they might be the Society of the Burning Eye might have their finger in lots of different pots, right?
Right.
And I can see that alternative medicine would be one of those areas where they might have tendrils of control. Um,
Thank you for the follow, Scooby Cabento. Interesting names. And Mr. Sergio, thank you. And Lon Mantua. Lots of follows tonight. Thank you, folks.
The other thing that I wonder is if I wonder. So there's got to be some conflict somewhere in this, and I wonder where it is. Is it that everyone's friends and family is telling them, no, don't go and get acupuncture, you're just wasting your money, blah blah blah, that sort of thing? Is that where the conflict is?
Could be, or it could be the turtle. It could be that they need to go somewhere for like a spa or something, to have special things happen, and it's a distance away, and the family's feeling like that they're not safe doing that.
Right.
And we know that they're not, because it's an establishment run by the Burning Eye Secret Society.
Right. Actually, if we gave the character fibromyalgia, there's good reason to think that there's some emotional basis for fibromyalgia, as well as physical basis for it in unresolved trauma.
Right.
And a lot of people these days are going to ayahuasca retreats to try to work through some of that. So perhaps this Society of the Burning Eye runs an ayahuasca retreat or something like that. It doesn't have to be ayahuasca. It could be some other hallucinogenic bark or something. I mean, there's something like 20,000 hallucinogenic substances growing on the planet as we speak that have been identified. So it could be any one of them.
I saw somebody on Facebook today recommend LSD as something you would want to take for tooth pain.
For tooth pain?
Tooth pain.
That's a bit harsh.
I thought, well,
What
I
were
suppose you wouldn't care you had tooth pain anymore.
No, it's true. Were they suggesting microdosing or?
Yeah. Yeah. Funny. And the person because somebody had asked for a rave on some kind of treatment for tooth pain that she was doing too much ibuprofen and so on, and wasn't really helping. And someone suggested CBD oil, and then someone else said, "Oh, LSD will help you." Really? Okay.
I don't know that Facebook is the good place to go to get medical advice.
Yeah. But okay. Anyway. So, that
In
went.
fact, the one thing that came to me with apple and bee is it would be wonderful to set a scene in an apple orchard at the time that the trees are flowering. And so the place is alive with the hum of bees and the smell of the apple blossoms.
Oh, yeah.
Although I don't know what I would have them do in such a setting, but I mean, maybe that's where they're going tripping. Who knows?
That wouldn't be the place for me to go tripping.
Yeah, are you allergic to bees?
Yes. Yeah, that would be, pages out of a horror movie right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I did see one horror movie once where the person, I don't remember what movie it was, but the person walks in, opens the door to an attic, and it's like one big beehive with about 10,000 bees in there. I thought, whoa,
Dear.
that would be the end of my days, right?
That renovation show we were watching where they
There.
found a bird's nest inside the kitchen cupboard, and then they popped open the bird's nest and it was full of bees.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The bees had taken over the bird's nest.
Wow.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. It was fun. It's a little bit of a mental workout, yeah?
Oh, yeah. But it's fun, and actually that gave me some idea. I have a set of short, I would say novellas, or that when you do ebook, it doesn't have to be any particular length of
Right.
page count, right? So it was more like a novella. But the theory is there's these spas all over the world, and you go there to have some surgery done, say a hip replacement or something, but they do past life regression to work on the emotional attachment of why you allowed that to happen to you in this life. And this going to the spa, this little cube thing would fit into one of the things I've been working on. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So, no other comments on here that for you. I think there's a lot of bots yipping in there. There's Gary.
Yeah. Can you see him?
No, I can hear him though.
Oh yeah, no, he came up to the chair and stood up. When he stands on his hind legs, he's quite tall. He almost comes to the top of the desk.
Nope, I'm not coming up on the table. No, not gonna happen.
Gary won't come up on the table, no? He says, I'm not feeling up to this, Mom.
Yeah. Gary is quite particular. He likes to be petted on his terms and his terms only.
Yep.
And so what I do is I just stick my hand out and then let him gyrate around it to his heart's content.
Yep.
And it seems to work.
Alrighty, so thank you for your readings tonight, and like I said, this will go up to YouTube, so we'll put your stuff there, social links there,
Perfect.
and we should do maybe one more giveaway. Anybody else want to give away?
Nobody's talking a whole lot right now.
People are quiet. Well, do we have people that are registered?
They're all registered. Quite a few.
Okay, well then just do the draw.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Dynamic Newson, who said, I think that's the person that said they were a fan, has won the giveaway.
Yay!
Yeah.
Great name, Dynamic New Sin.
Yeah. There we go.
I would be hard pressed to think of what sins are new.
Woot.
Oh, we got a woot. So they're online. All right.
Awesome.
So Dynamic, give Hyperlinks 256 a whisper, and we'll get your thing happening there. Alrighty. All right, Chloe. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, and this was fun. Like I said,
Yeah.
it'll go up on YouTube. I'll let you know when that is, and you can.
It'll be a week or so.
Yeah.
Because we're going to rebuild everything here this weekend.
It's probably going to be next week. Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll let you know.
No
Oh,
worries.
wait a minute. Please don't leave yet. Oh my God. Why? The Phobo Meat says. Oh, and someone else says, thanks for popping in. That was cool. I love the Thursday streams. Okay, awesome. And then somebody else says, I love you. Here are some hearts to show you some love. And there's all these heart emojis.
Wants to know if you play games. Don't leave yet. Oh my God.
Doritos chips. Why am I getting Doritos chips?
I don't know. Those are cool. But no, you asked earlier if we play games.
We play games. Yeah, I do games on Tuesdays and Sundays. Tuesdays I play Among Us, and Sundays I play Age of Empires 2, 3. Like 3 better. Okay, so
Not sure why he gave you Doritos, but
I don't know why you gave me us Doritos, but thank you.
Well, it's getting late. You might need a snack.
Yeah. All right, so but I'm gonna let Chloe go. She's been here for a while, and it's 8:30.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yes, it was. I'll have to do it
And
again.
I'll be in touch offline.
Yes, we'll have to do it again sometime. Hey.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.